It has been called the last great frontier of medical science. Your brain is the most complex organ in your body. It's involved in everything from the beating of your heart to the thoughts that you have. And new research suggests a strong connection between your brain and your immune system. If you want a strong immune system, then you need to keep your brain healthy too. And here's how.
Let's just imagine your life where you don't really care about your brain. You're doing what you're doing and walk toward the future. And the future has things like depression and dementia in it. And that's hard. Or let's walk down the other road. And yes, you have to make some better decisions, but there's a lot less pain down that road. And ultimately, which brain do you want?
Dr. Daniel Amen knows what a troubled brain looks like. He and his team at Amen Clinics have reviewed over 200,000 SPECT scans. SPECT, which stands for Single Photon Emission Computed Tomography, gives a unique look at the brain. It can help identify underlying brain conditions that other imaging techniques can't. Every scan is unique, but one thing is crystal clear. An unhealthy brain is a brain at risk of developing a long list of mental illnesses.
Well, in psychiatry, most of the problems are not structural. They're functional. So it's sort of like if you have a car engine, and the engine might look just fine, but it doesn't function properly. So a scan, a SPECT scan, basically tells us three things: good activity, too little, or too much. And then my job becomes balancing it.
A psychiatrist and a New York Times best-selling author, Dr. Amen's mission is changing how we think about mental health. He believes if you can change your brain, then you can change your life.
The first step of brain health is to fall in love with your brain, to know it controls everything: how you think, how you feel, how you act, how you get along with other people. So that's the first step. The second step is avoid things that hurt your brain.
So, if you want to get or stay brain healthy, you need to take a whole body approach. There are 4 areas that you need to focus on: biological, psychological, social, and spiritual. Each of these 4 areas work together to keep you physically fit and mentally sharp. Dr. Amen looks at these 4 circles when treating his patients.
What's their biology? So for me, it's the physical function of their brain and body. That's really important. That's why we look at the brain. Look at their psychology, which is how they think and their development. Look at the social circle, what's going on in their life. And then there's the spiritual circle, which is, why do they care? Do they believe in God? Do they have a sense of meaning and purpose? What I've seen is those 4 circles always work together all the time.
Start by taking an honest look at your physical health. Do you have a few extra pounds you need to lose? How's your sleep? Are you getting enough? Have you noticed more senior moments lately? These could be warning signs that your brain is heading for trouble.
Your body and your brain are always making itself new. And it does that from the food you eat. And if you're eating a fast food diet, you're going to end up with a fast food mind. And that's not good. And I often say, if I can change your diet, immediately 30% of your psychiatric symptoms are going to go away. Because you have to see the brain as an organ.
It's time to skip the drive-through line and fill your plate with foods that will nourish your body and support your health. It's important to eat clean and go organic. Avoid foods that are filled with toxic pesticides.
Well, people don't understand their gut microbiome, really important for their brain. And what do pesticides kill? They kill bugs. So they kill the good bugs, and that's not good for you. And most people don't know, about 60% of your immune system is in your gut. And so if your gut is not healthy, your immune system, and then secondarily, your brain is not healthy.
Are you having trouble staying awake during the day? This is a warning sign you shouldn't ignore.
Sleep is so important. It's that process that helps repair your brain, but also your body. And sleep also helps you consolidate what you've learned throughout the day. So if you're not sleeping right, you're going to tend to make the same mistakes over and over.
Make sure you turn off the gadgets before going to bed. The blue light from our devices can keep us from getting the sleep that our brains need. Studies have shown that people who are prone to negative thinking, or ANTS, automatic negative thoughts, have higher levels of heart disease and a weaker immune system. It's time you stomp out your ANTS.
You know, thoughts come from all sorts of places. They come from the voices of our moms and dads. They come from our friends, our foes, the music we listen to, the news. And they're just sort of randomly produced by our neurons, but yet people believe them. So does this negative thought fit God's good, perfect, and pleasing will? And if it doesn't, you need to dismiss it.
And here's another boost for your brain. You need to be social. Look for ways to connect with others. A strong social circle is important in keeping your brain healthy.
It's being with others. It's a brain exercise, and more work when you're with some people than others. This is one reason why church is so important, why groups are so important, because they help plug you in so that you're living your human life, which is in groups.
Start your day with the right mindset. Remember, this is a day that God has made. There's something special He has in store for you today. Don't miss it.
So I start every day with today is going to be a great day. And I do that to push my brain into a positive direction. And then look for what you're excited about. It'll help you so much. It's one of those little tiny habits I just do every day.
Having a grateful heart for all that God has done for you is an important key to enjoying the abundant life that He promises. Start today by asking God to guide your steps to a healthy brain and a strong immune system. You'll be amazed at what He'll do for you. Do you feel tired and run down at the end of the day? Or do you struggle with soreness throughout your body? These could be signs you're running low on a crucial nutrient vital to your health. You're not alone. It's estimated that over 42% of Americans are facing this health crisis too. Start getting what you need today. Here's how.
I spent most of my childhood in Texas, a very sunny and warm state. So after I'd moved to Michigan, and I was here for maybe 10 years, I started having a lot of the same symptoms my patients were experiencing.
Meet Dr. Jim Dowd. He knows firsthand what this health crisis is doing to us. He sees the impact it has on the patients he treats at the Arthritis Institution of Michigan. Looking for answers, he stumbled on something that took him by surprise.
When I started taking vitamin D, many of these aches and pains I was having in my hands and feet and neck seemed to go away, and my energy level went up, my sleep improved, and the same thing was happening in the handful of patients who I had started measuring D levels in.
Dr. Dowd shares what he learned in his book, The Vitamin D Cure. So if you want to improve your health and start feeling better, it could be as simple as getting the vitamin D that you need. Today, researchers are discovering that vitamin D is a critical part of protecting your health. The benefits to your bones, joints, and teeth are just the tip of the iceberg. Recent studies are showing that vitamin D plays an important role in keeping your heart strong and safeguarding you from strokes and heart attacks. Scientists are also finding that vitamin D has a strong connection to your immune system. People with protective levels of vitamin D are less likely to develop infections and can recover faster than people suffering from low levels of vitamin D. So why are so many of us not getting the vitamin D we need to stay healthy?
Our modern lifestyles, especially since the advent of computers, has placed most of us indoors for work behind a flat screen, and we're no longer physically active. We're in the middle of this obesity epidemic or pandemic, and these are all things that place us at risk. So just living in our modern society are all actually risk factors.
We are spending more time indoors. It's reported that people in the USA and Canada spent more time inside than any other nation around the world. The average American only spends about 10% of their week outside. If you want to get the vitamin D that you need, then you need to get some sunshine.
So getting outside, being physically active in the sun is one of the best ways to normalize our D and address a lot of other things related to the lack of physical activity.
Here are a few tips to get more of the sunshine vitamin you need. Take a midday walk. This is the best time to get direct sunlight. Make sure that your skin is exposed. The amount of sun exposure depends on the time of year, where you live, and the color of your skin. As the days grow shorter during the winter months, you'll need to consider getting your vitamin D from supplements.
Between October and April, above 35 to 40 degrees north latitude, you probably need to supplement.
As the seasons change, if you're in the United States and live north of South Carolina, then you need to add vitamin D to your daily routine. And if you're one of the many Americans who are vitamin D deficient, taking a daily vitamin D supplement can boost and protect your health. Find out how much you need by talking with your doctor.
There's a recent study from Harvard University looking at the supplementation of vitamin D, 2,000 units a day and 1,000 milligrams of omega-3 a day. And they found for the first time that D and omega-3 lowered the risk of developing a new autoimmune disease by 30%. And nothing has ever been shown to reduce the risk of developing an autoimmune disease. So this is the first time anything's been shown, much less something as simple as a supplement we can get over the counter.
The standard American diet is making us sick. The U.S. waistline is growing. According to a recent report, nearly 2/3 of Americans are overweight.
We know we're eating too many empty calories of refined carbohydrates that are driving up insulin, and insulin's driving obesity, and the higher the fat mass, the lower the D levels, and so D correlates with diabetes, development of diabetes, and cardiovascular disease. And we saw in the pandemic it in the patients who were having the worst outcomes with infection were patients who had low D levels, diabetes, high blood pressure. Again, everything's tracking in tandem because they're all related.
Many nutritionists say the best way to start off your day is to enjoy a nice omelet. Eggs are a natural source of vitamin D. According to a report in Australia, eating just 2 eggs helps boost your daily requirements of vitamin D. They're also loaded with other vitamins and minerals that you need to stay healthy. Make sure to throw in some mushrooms too.
Eggs, I would put near the top of the list. Mushrooms have D2 in them, which is a plant-sourced vitamin D. And when you sun-dry mushrooms, they have even more D2 in them because just like it promotes D production in our skin when we're exposed to sun, it promotes D production in mushrooms to dry them in the sun. But mushrooms are just tasty, they add a lot of flavor, and they're loaded with nutrition and other micronutrients.
In the evening, overhaul your dinner plate. Add vitamin D-rich foods like salmon. Include a healthy salad with dark leafy greens too.
A salmon steak can have anywhere from 200 to 300 units of D in that salmon steak. Wild-caught fish is going to have a higher amount of D in it than farmed fish, so that's your preferred choice of fish. And let's get off all these processed foods and start eating salmon and leafy green vegetables.
Go out for a walk today with a friend. You'll enjoy the company as you take in the sunshine vitamin. Next, add a supplement if you need some extra vitamin D. And overhaul your dinner plate with foods that will support your health. Your life is a gift from God. Make sure you're doing everything you can to take care of that gift and enjoy it. Every day, your body is under attack. Tiny invaders, invisible to the human eye, are working to break down your defenses. One of the gateways into your body is your mouth. If you want to win this war and stay healthy, you'll need more than just a toothbrush. Here's what you need to know.
And if there's one word it boils down to is inflammation. And our diets, our way of living, our stressful lifestyles, financial issues, whatever it is, poor habits, not getting enough sleep, and it's a killer.
Dr. Thomas Lokinsgaard, or Dr. Tom as his patients like to call him, has been practicing dentistry for over 40 years. He sees the destructive effects that chronic inflammation is causing when he examines his patients.
Typically, they know something is wrong, but it's usually in the gums. The gums are real puffy, and they're real red. Then they don't digest their food well. They feel malaise. They feel tired all the time. I can't sleep.
These are the warning signs that the body's ability to fight off harmful germs has been weakened and compromised. Researchers are discovering that our mouth is home to the second largest collection of microbiotas after our gut. Just like the gut, beneficial microorganisms in our mouth help keep our defenses strong and ward off disease. Protecting this delicate ecosystem is vital to your health.
There's good and bad bacteria. And so once that gut microflora or the oral microflora becomes disrupted, those nasty bacteria can travel through the system. They can travel systemically through the body and infect other organ systems, like the heart, like the lungs, like the kidneys. So we now know that disease starts in the mouth as well as the gut.
At the Center for Holistic and Biological Dentistry, Dr. Tom and his team are using treatments that support the health of their patients' oral microbiome. He also encourages his patients to take charge of their health and make lifestyle changes that will safeguard them from chronic inflammation and help build a strong immune system. You can make these changes too. It starts before your next visit to your dentist.
I attended a lecture in Fargo, North Dakota, and there was a gentleman who was a nutritionist. And he said, folks, I'm here to tell you that the battle is not with your doctor, it's not with the medical establishment, it's in the grocery store. The battle is waged in the grocery store.
You need to start shopping differently. Watch what you're putting in your shopping cart. You want to buy foods that are going to keep you healthy and not hurt you. We all know that eating too much sugar isn't good for our teeth. What you might not know is it's also bad for your immune system. Recent studies have suggested that high blood sugar levels can weaken or suppress your body's defenses. Foods high in sugar throw off the balance in your mouth by increasing acid. High levels of acid in your mouth cause the breakdown of your teeth's enamel. This leads to tooth decay. You need to protect your teeth by limiting foods and beverages that are high in acid. Foods that have higher acid levels include dairy products, breads, cold cuts and processed meats, and fried foods. And get rid of the soft drinks today. The amount of sugar and acid in soft drinks are off the charts. Diet sodas aren't any better. They contain artificial sweeteners that have been linked to cancer. If you want to safeguard your teeth and your future, then you need to pour these drinks down the drain.
Just like there are different microbiomes, there are different areas of the body that have different alkalinity. And what you want to do is keep the alkalinity in the mouth above pH above 7. But in the stomach, because it's stomach acid that degrades your food and makes amino acids and breaks down carbohydrate. And so you need that's like battery acid in your stomach.
Keeping your body's acid and alkalinity in balance through your diet is one of the easiest ways to reduce inflammation and keep your immune system strong. Eating a salad loaded with healthy toppings will help keep your acid levels in check. So, if you want to keep the dentist away, eat a salad a day. Start your day off right by brushing and flossing. Make sure you have everything you need to protect your smile.
If you're using a standard manual toothbrush, that's not a problem. Just don't brush too hard. You use a soft bristle brush for one thing, not a hard bristle brush.
Make sure you invest in toothpaste that is healthy. Check the ingredients.
The average tube of toothpaste has sodium lauryl sulfate, carrageenan, it has a bunch of fillers, titanium dioxide, it has fluoride in it. It has a bunch of junk that doesn't really clean your teeth.
Most of us aren't brushing long enough. Make sure to brush your teeth for at least 2 minutes. Brush along the gum line and make sure you brush all of the surfaces of all your teeth front to back. When you floss, ensure you get in between all of your teeth. It's here that plaque or biofilms tend to build up.
Biofilm is just a bunch of bacteria stuck together. That's all it is. It's like barnacles on a boat. It'll cause inflammation again. So here, here's another way you can control inflammation. This is about getting rid of that.
Add a multivitamin to your medicine cabinet to strengthen your teeth too.
There are these certain food substances, and minerals are one of them, that are called essential. You hear about essential vitamins, you hear about essential amino acids. What that means is not only are they essential, but it means your body doesn't make them. And so you have to consume them from an outside source. So if you're mineral deficient because you haven't taken essential minerals or essential vitamins, you're going to end up with tooth decay because of the sacrifice to the blood. And you're going to end up with osteoporosis, and you're going to end up with receding gum lines because gums don't recede unless the bone underneath it recedes.
Life can be stressful. If you feel like you're being pulled in a million different directions, then you're not alone. In a recent Gallup poll, U.S. workers were among the most stressed out in the world. When stress turns chronic, it can have a big impact on your health.
Stress causes an increase in cortisol levels, and then it also causes an increase in grinding. So if you're grinding at night, you're wearing your teeth down, and then your jaw joints are becoming, are faltering. So that's not a good situation. Perceived stress gives the same result as stress that is not perceived, because when you're still worrying about that guy who almost hit you when you went to work this morning, that's perceived stress, and you gotta knock that off.
The Bible says in 1 Peter 5:7, "Give all your worries and cares to God, for He cares about you." Take the time right now to give all your worries and concerns to God. He loves you and will help you to live a healthy and abundant life. Let today be the start of enjoying the wonderful future He has in store for you. Our modern lifestyles are making us sick. According to the CDC, 60% of Americans suffer from a chronic illness, diseases like diabetes, heart disease, and cancer. Many of these chronic conditions have been linked to a weakened or dysfunctional immune system. You can protect yourself today from what could be robbing you of your health. Here's how.
We live in this world of chemical soup. And a lot of people don't recognize that what we eat, what we drink, what we put on our skin directly affects our health.
We also need to take ownership of our home, what we allow in it, out of it, and that's, mind, soul, and body.
They are everywhere. Harmful chemicals that put our health at risk are hiding in our homes. They're in the cleaning products we use. They're in cooking and dishware used to prepare and enjoy our meals. They're in the air fresheners that freshen up our homes, and they could even be in you. Recent studies suggest we're exposed to thousands of these harmful substances every day. While these toxins might not affect your health right away, long-term exposure can be deadly.
As you're using those things, your body is absorbing those chemicals in your hands. And if you think about that even more, let's say you have kids walking on the floor or pets, they're even more susceptible to the chemicals that you're using in and around your house as well.
That ultimately it wears down the body, breaks down the immune system. The end result are the top 10 causes of death worldwide. Heart disease, cancer, Alzheimer's, diabetes, obesity, the list goes on.
Eric and Sabrina Zielinski, also known as Mama Z and Dr. Z, offer Bible-based health advice through their website, naturallivingfamily.com, and through their best-selling books. They believe that health and wellness is a gift from God that all of us can enjoy. How do you get started? Begin with an extreme home makeover. Get rid of all the things in your home that can make you sick. Work at creating a toxin-free oasis. If you need some help figuring out which room to start in, follow your nose. The fresh scent of spring could be putting your health at risk.
The laundry room is arguably the most toxic room in someone's home. So what these manufacturers have done, they've put chemical surfactants in laundry soap, so that the smell, the fragrance, the toxic fragrance that has been linked to Alzheimer's, dementia, autoimmunity, cancer, these fragrances don't get washed out. And so what you need to do is start to think about, okay, wow, I'm putting that chemical on my body all day long.
Get rid of laundry detergents that use synthetic fragrances and artificial colors. Many of these dyes are made from petroleum and have been linked to cancer. Look around your house for other items that have a strong scent and bright color too. Here's a list of items to check: cleaning products, air fresheners, body care products like shampoos and perfumes.
We are exposed to VOCs all day long. And VOCs are volatile organic compounds. So whether it's your carpet, your building material, fragrances in the air, those are harmful VOCs that could hurt the body. But God's given us healthy, good, abundant life-giving VOCs, and that's what we know as essential oils.
If you've ever smelled the aroma of a bouquet of flowers or the earthy smell of a forest, then you've experienced the essence of essential oils. Pure oils are made from distilling hundreds of pounds of plant matter down to a single pound of oils. Long prized for their healing and restorative properties in the ancient world, scientists are discovering that essential oils offer many of those same benefits today.
So I grew up with essential oils and using them, and I had a chemical burn on my face and was able to use over-the-counter products in my kitchen and lavender to help heal my skin.
I was a public health researcher for hire, and it was my job to read hundreds of clinical trials discussing how essential oils can impact everything from blood pressure to blood sugar, if they're cytotoxic, if they're safe, if they're effective, and my world was blown away.
A great way to start adding essential oils to your home is through the air. Diffusing essential oils is like releasing the best of nature into your home. A recent Cleveland Clinic article reported these benefits. Essential oils can boost mood, improve sleep, reduce anxiety, and ease pain. Essential oils can also be used as a cleaning agent.
If someone wanted to get started with essential oils, I recommend that they get started with ones that they could use for a variety of different things. And usually that tops the list for most people would be lavender, lemon, peppermint, orange, and eucalyptus.
As Christians, Eric and Sabrina start each day with Bible reading and prayer. They believe that seeking God and His promises is the key to living a truly healthy life.
Seek first the kingdom, the Bible says, and everything else shall come afterwards. And I believe that wholeheartedly.
Because it's really important when you're talking about your everyday life that you are focusing on the spiritual, you are focusing on the mental, social, physical health, and all of those things are important, but they all wrap together to create the abundant life.
With the spiritual direction of their day set, Sabrina diffuses essential oils to help create a fresh and energizing atmosphere in the house. The smell of peppermint and citrus have been linked to increasing focus and alertness.
In the morning or the night before, as I set up the diffusers, we want everybody happy, so I'm going to do a citrus or a citrus blend, or what we call our citrus delight blend. Super happy.
Keeping their growing family healthy and safe is a top priority. Living toxic-free by including essential oils in every part of their home is one of the ways they're accomplishing their goal.
And in the kitchen, we use the essential oils. We use them in some of our beverages, things that we do there in the kitchen, but then also in the laundry room. You want to get that low-hanging fruit, changing out your hand sanitizer, changing out maybe your shampoo or conditioner, and in the bathroom, your soap. One by one, hitting those things.
Another way they're keeping their family healthy is by getting everyone outdoors. According to a report from the Environmental Protection Agency, the average American spends 90% of their time indoors. The benefits of being outside in nature are amazing when it comes to our health.
And I would find myself literally hours of the day staring in front of a computer in my office and just getting drained. And then when I would go outside and get a fresh air break, I would just get lightened up and I would get energized.
And there's science to back this up. A recent study in Japan found that spending time in nature lowered blood pressure and boosted the immune system of its participants. So if you want to strengthen your defenses, then you need to take a break and go outside too.
So what we have really practiced more to be intentional as a family is to spend more time outside. But also for me as a professional, I really set almost to a timer. I got to get outside. I got to breathe some fresh air. I have to experience what God given me to experience, to reset, to get out of this fake box that I'm in all day.
The Bible says in Psalm 24, "The earth is the Lord's and all its fullness." Go outside today and soak up some sunshine and breathe in the fresh air. God made it for you to enjoy and keep you healthy. Get rid of the things in your home that are making you sick and replace them with natural solutions like essential oils. You can live a healthier life starting today. Imagine living each day not knowing if today could be your last. Jordan Rubin knows what it's like. He's lived it. Here's his amazing story.
Even from the time when I was deathly ill, I said, Lord, if you heal me, if I can help just one person overcome disease, or better yet, avoid it, then this living hell will have all been worth it.
At 19, Jordan was living out his dreams. A student at Florida State University and a member of the second largest campus ministry in the country, he wanted to make an impact.
I read about a God who has great plans for me, plans to prosper me and not to harm me, to give me a future and a hope. And here I am with my dad screaming, I don't want my son to die.
What started as a stomachache and a high fever was now threatening to take his life. Doctors ultimately diagnosed Jordan with Crohn's disease. Apart from a miracle, there's no cure for this painful condition. Desperate, Jordan and his family began searching for answers.
Doctors, conventional medicine, alternative medicine, traveling the world for treatments that honestly were worse than the disease.
Exhausted and weak, Jordan's 2 years of searching came to a grinding halt.
I was hospitalized and there was a nurse outside the room. I heard her say that young man's not going to make it through the night. And at that point, I closed my eyes for what I thought would be the last time. I didn't want to kill myself, but there were many days when I wanted to be with Jesus in heaven. I can tell you that.
Jordan survived the night. It was in the pages of the Bible that he would find the strength to continue fighting for his life.
But I really latched onto a Bible verse, Hebrews chapter 11, verse 1, that says, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Well, I felt the Lord clear as day tell me, you need to take a step of faith.
He did something that took his mother by surprise. He asked her to take his picture.
And I said, Mom, you need to take this picture because the world's not going to believe what God's about to do in my life.
Crohn's disease had reduced Jordan's body to skin and bones, but it hadn't weakened his trust in the Lord. A phone call would change his life.
And this man said, Jordan, I'm going to tell you how to eat and live like the Bible says. And in 90 days, you're going to be going from wheelchair to working out on the beach. I was so filled with hope.
Jordan took another step of faith. He flew from his home in Florida to California to discover God's plan for his health.
But this diet that consisted of dairy products, the way that you would find them in the Bible, breads that were, we'd call sourdough, heirloom grains, grass-fed meats, raw juices, fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds. And he pointed me in the direction of not only eating what the Bible says, but living it. I wasn't allowed to complain. I had to memorize scripture, and I learned how to move forward in my life and be healed in body, mind, and spirit.
Jordan's life was completely transformed. He experienced the miracle that he had so desperately been seeking.
I had a new life, a new vision, a mission, a purpose to help transform the health of God's people one person at a time.
Today, Jordan continues this mission of sharing a message of hope and healing God's way. He's a New York Times best-selling author and the CEO and co-founder of Ancient Nutrition. What's his suggestion for building a stronger immune system and staying healthy? Start with a gut check.
It's been said that death begins in the colon. In fact, years ago, scientists and medical doctors believed that 90+% of disease came from your gut. I would rather say it this way: life begins in the gut. What we eat, digest, absorb, much of our immune system, much of our circulatory system, even chemicals that we believe are found primarily in the brain, such as serotonin, are made in the gut. If you will take care of your gut will take care of you in every aspect of health.
The best way to keep your gut healthy starts with your diet. If you want to build a better gut, then you need to add foods like green leafy vegetables. The microbes in your digestive tract thrive off the nutrients found in these vegetables. Next, add cultured dairy products like yogurt. The healthy probiotics will help increase the good bacteria living in your gut. And make sure you eat clean by eating foods that are free of harmful pesticides. After changing your diet, Jordan's next suggestion might surprise you.
Forgiveness. The act of forgiveness transforms unhealthy cells to healthy cells, and it literally has an effect on the body that is extremely powerful.
Chronic stress is one of the top risk factors for a weakened immune system. When you don't forgive others, you increase chronic stress in your life. Over time, chronic stress can turn deadly. If you want to boost your immune system, then you need to practice forgiveness. Studies have shown that forgiveness has these benefits too: lower blood pressure, reduced depression and anxiety, improved heart health, and better mental health. You need to make sure that you are getting the sleep you need to stay healthy. Most people aren't getting enough. It's estimated that 1 in 3 adults are chronically sleep deprived. You might be one of them. Start sleeping differently.
In biblical times, people rose and they went to sleep with the rising and setting of the sun. The more sleep you get before midnight, the more healthful you are, the less sugar cravings you have. You may even lose some weight. In addition, hydrate yourself. Make sure to drink water and other healthy beverages, not waiting till you're thirsty, but actually when you just know you need to keep your tank full.
Start enjoying the life that God has given to you today by taking a biblical approach to your health. Eat foods that will keep your gut healthy. Get the sleep you need, drink plenty of water, and forgive others. What God did for Jordan Rubin, He can do for you too.